Don't cuss. I just told Don not to cuss. Give me a second. I'm still getting together here. I'm looking for my cake froster. I know I have one. Wow, that stinks. Hang on. I got to get a different tool. I know my picture's kind of weird. I got it all stretched. Just hang in there with me. Oh, we're doing crafts today. Let's see. Oh, for the love of God, where is it? There it is. Got it. All right. Oh my goodness. Hopefully you can hear me. If you can't hear me, let me put the comments on so I can see what you guys are saying. Okay. Hopefully I can read it. Stop that. This is our first time setting up with 2 cameras, so you'll have to be patient. And Lighton says, hi guys, howdy, Miss Penny. Hi, Miss Debbie. Dom's trying to work it out for me over here. So I look very stretched. It's just the way the cameras are. We'll get it. The aspect ratio is terrible. Just pretend that I'm this wide and this tall, and you won't be too far off. It sounds good. All right, great. Donna's working on getting the iPad set up and brought over here so I can read your chats.
Over there?
Yes, if you don't mind, sweetheart. So what you guys had wanted to know what I was up to with the acrylic painting, and I got a bunch of people with requests, and I only wish I was as good at it as some of the people that are on YouTube. I'm just not. I'm new, starting at it, but I thought it might be fun to chat about really unpleasant things while doing really relaxing things, right? Why not? All right, so I got my water. I don't know what you're drinking. I don't judge. And I got my gloves. And I thought I'd just do the techniques that are supposed to be easier. I like the concept, says Liz. I've been having trouble with my paint looking muddy. And so some of you guys know I did some jewelry. I don't know actually if you do know that. So let me grab a couple of these little pieces here. Thank you, baby.
Or you got to be able to touch it.
He's the best groupie ever. No, I just need to be able to see it. That's perfect. Mm-hmm.
If I can get it powered back up because it went shut down.
No, that's good. Okay, so I bought these little bracelets. Can you see that? You can see that. So they look like this. And they've got this little opening here in the middle. And they have these little glass tops, right? So if you can see that, I'm going to move that up. So you can take the skins. So when you pour these things, I think this needs to be lower. When you pour these things, you get a bunch of leftover paint that runs off, right? And I can't abide wasting things. And so you can wait for that poured off paint to dry, and it makes little skins. And I've found that the easiest way to do the skins is on a silicone mat because it's just easier. And I hope that's bright enough once we get doing something bigger. But I made this one. So you just peel the skin off the mat and then you glue it to the back of these glass pieces. They're called, I know, I've got a terrible shadow there now. They're called Cobichons or something like that. But anyway, I made a bigger one, if you guys can see that. And I wasn't crazy about how that turned out. And so you just keep going. So I made another one of those little ones. I bought a different style of bracelet because this can be made much smaller for like my granddaughter's wrists. And so I'm going to work on some of these. So hopefully we'll get some neat pour off. And I'll be able to use that to make some jewelry on a different video. My surgery's Monday and I'm nervous. I also thought doing a little craft project would help with my nerves a little bit. And we'll see if we're right or not. I don't know why I'm nervous. I had the other weight loss surgery, and I'm having this surgery, for those of you who don't know, because I have developed such bad GERD that it is eroding my vocal cords, which is why I have so much trouble with my voice. And I'm off the meds, so I'm having trouble with my voice again. So this will fix that. The reason that you don't want to let GERD go forever, or for long periods of time without treating it or doing something about it, is it can cause something called Barrett's esophagus. And Barrett's esophagus is a cancerous condition in the esophagus. And what happens is that stomach acid isn't supposed to be in there, and it erodes those cells. And when it does that, the cells start to morph and become cancerous. And so that's why I need to have this done, and also because I need my voice for the things I do. Don't we all? So that's why I'm having the surgery, not so much for weight loss, though I could stand to lose some weight. I gained a bunch back after COVID, when my thyroid totally crashed and burned. Like, it just absolutely quit functioning, and I couldn't get a doctor to test it. I'm going to blow up these little balloons, because how fun is that to do in front of a camera, in front of an audience? And we're going to do this little technique called balloon kisses. It's from, I can't think, this little lady that pours. If you go to my YouTube channel, I have, I think you can look at the videos that I've liked. I think they'll go onto a playlist, and I think they're on my Watch Later playlist. But there's a couple ladies I like. The one lady that I really like is from Queensland, Australia, and she does this balloon technique, and I've not tried it yet. So, why not try it live on air, so that if it messes up, you're totally humiliated. Summer Rose says, hi, Penny. Good luck on your surgery. Thank you, sweetheart. Hi, Liz. Acrylic pouring for fun. A great group, too. I'll be able to see better here in a minute. All right, here we go. So I want one just small.
P. Wilson.
Yeah, that's fine, babe. Oh, do you have to sign in? Just go to rumble.com. Oh, it's making us sign in.
You have one, right?
I know, but I don't know what the password is. I never use it.
You're kidding.
You can't just go to Rumble without signing in?
I downloaded the Rumble app.
Oh, I don't want the app. I just want to go on via the website. But thank you for that. All right. So Don stopped and got some balloons for me, along with some, we got all the liquids. So my last meal was yesterday, so I really wanted to enjoy that, because I probably will not be able to eat solid foods for at least a month. And so I really wanted to enjoy my last supper. We've had a bunch of stuff go on. So we had Thanksgiving.
Before the surgery.
Yeah, before the surgery. It's not my last surgery. It's my not my last surgery, my last supper. Okay, now can you just type me in? Just Nurse Penny. So I wanted to enjoy a good meal last night. The weekend before, we lost a family member. That wasn't unexpected. She was in hospice, but that was tough for our oldest, as it was his grandmother, Nurse Penny.
Just this one?
Yeah. Does it say I have one follower? No, that's somebody else. I got a bunch of followers. Hold on. Try Penny Whitrow. So anyway, we had a death in the family. We had Thanksgiving. We had a death in the family. And then, so last week, you guys, I tell you what, our outside cat, he's not really our cat. He's a cat that we feed because Don is so soft-hearted.
And we've inherited him.
Put a space in between there.
He's our cat now.
Put a space in between the Y and the W. See if it'll work like that. It's ridiculous how hard this is to do. Okay.
Yeah.
My channel, my live stream, and let's pop out the chat. Can you hit pop out chat? I love having me a groupie. All right.
Is that working?
Yeah, I just can't see it. I don't know if we can make it bigger or not.
We can get closer to you.
So this cat had gotten in a fight. His name is Mr. Gray, and like I said, he's not really our cat. Good afternoon, friends. Hi, PJ. Thank you, sweetheart. He's just a neighborhood cat that Don feeds, that I think has sired one of the cats that we have. And he got in a fight, and he developed this abscess on his head. You know how high a cat's ears go. That abscess was up even with the top of his ears. It was huge. It was just one side of his head.
Is he good?
Yes, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate your help.
Anything else? Do you need headphones?
Nope. I'm not playing any videos as long as they can hear me. So I came out, I think it was Friday. I came out and it looked like somebody had exploded a cat on the front porch. There was blood everywhere. It stunk, of course, because that's an abscess. It was everywhere. It was all over the siding, all over the sidewalk. It looked like somebody had gotten killed or stabbed on our front porch. So I cleaned all that up. I couldn't find Mr. Gray. Finally, he comes up, and the little spot that blew up was all caked up and closed, and so it couldn't drain. And I'm like, and of course, it's after office hours, and I'm like, all right, Penny, you're a nurse. Don's not here, and I'm thinking, is this cat going to fight me? And so what I did was I got a towel around him, wrapped him up, brought him into the hall bathroom, went and got all my supplies, and I did what's called an I&D, an incision and drainage. So kind of at the back of his ear where the ear joins the head, I made about probably a 1/4 inch long incision so that I could drain that wound. And then I had these big 50 ml syringes. I took a syringe, filled it up with saline, put some povidone iodine in it, put it up in the wound, and irrigated that wound out. And luckily, I've done a lot of wound care. So I irrigated the wound out, got all of the infection out of there and everything. Irrigated it out again with saline, and I've just been tending to that. So he had one more area open up. That started draining. The front area, I had to shave his head. If you've never shaved a cat's head by yourself, and he was covered in blood all down the side of his face. His ear was full of blood. He looked like he'd been hit by a car. And so I got him in the sink, got his face and head all washed off and everything so I could assess what was going on, got him shaved so I could figure out where the wounds were and what was just matted hair. The smell stuck with me for 2 days. And that's the one thing I don't like about wound care is there's always just disgusting smells involved. But you got to do what you got to do. So I got it all cleaned up, got it all irrigated out, got him all shaved, put Vaseline all over the top of his head because that exudate that comes out of the wound will actually erode the skin. And so you have to protect the skin. And so, I put it up in his ears all around where it would drain and doctored it 2 or 3 times a day, every day, irrigating it. And this morning it had closed enough that I felt comfortable with him going outside. The front wound was closed. The middle wound was closed. And the back one, before you could see down to his skull almost, it was super shallow, like the bottom is filled in. And I'm like, okay, I think you could probably go outside. And we weren't sure how he would feel about it because, he's in the house, it's warm, he's not used to being inside. Every 3 hours, somebody comes in and loves on him. But he was hiding behind the toilet. He seemed stressed. And we prayed over him. I held him and prayed over him. Don held him and prayed over him. We were so scared he was going to die.
We love that cat.
We love that cat. I mean, he just looked awful. He's not even our cat, but we can't help
We
ourselves.
inherited him, and
Yes.
our love for him is
Our love healed that cat. Thank you, Lord. I was like, let the power of God just flow through me and the light of God that I was in when I was in heaven. Let it flow through me and into this cat and heal his head. And the next morning, those 2 front wounds were closed. And I'm like, okay, I'm a believer in prayer. So anyway, he'd look good. I let him go outside. But when I brought him out of the bathroom, so the other cats are freaking out. I bring him out of the bathroom and he's looking around and he's purring, right? And he's like, oh, this is lovely. It's even nicer than I had imagined. We could snuggle on the couch together over there. And I could see us just romping around up and down the hall playing. And you could throw that ball to me. And I'm like, oh no, he thinks he's staying in the house. And we already have 3 cats and he's not fixed. So I don't want him spraying everywhere. And he's not our cat. So I took him outside. He will not speak to either one of us now. After all of that, all that worrying, all that ICU nursing that I did, he won't speak to me. It breaks my heart. But yes, I did save Mr. Fuzz. And I didn't take any pictures of his head because it was such an emergency when it happened. He looks pitiful with half of his head shaved. Actually, the whole top is shaved. So it's kind of like an old man that's lost all the top hair, but is fluffy everywhere else. I'll see if I can't catch a picture of him. But anyway, I've got some colors that are ready to pour. So the thing about acrylic paint is you can buy like the heavy body paints that are in the tubes, but then you have to dilute them to pour. And you have to make sure you dilute them all to the same level of dilution, or they'll sink in the paint underneath, or all kinds of things, right? The way to get around that, I'm going to move this. The way to get around that is to use these paints that are ready to pour. And Artist Loft makes them. A bunch of people make them. A lot of the girls who do and guys who do acrylic pouring on YouTube have their own paint lines. But this is what I had. So I've got this Artist Loft copper, which is super pretty and ready to pour. I've got a turquoise. It's a metallic cobalt blue. Then I've got this gold, which is old gold. Old gold. I have some red, and this is just crimson red. I have black. You know what black looks like. And I pulled out this brown. This isn't ready to pour. It's a burnt sienna, but I really like this color. And so I might just dilute this down. I need to get some pouring medium. I don't have any pouring medium. And then I've got this white. The other thing I have that is super expensive. All right, where is my chat? It's not refreshing. Okay. I'm trying to see what Summer Rose says. Poor thing. Something him penny. One more, some doctor maybe put a warm house on the porch. Yeah, we did that. So Don took 2 big Rubbermaid buckets, and then he insulated the smaller one on the outside between the 2 buckets. And then it's carpeting, and then they've got heating pads in them, and they're huge. They're like those big 54-gallon buckets. And there's one on the porch for Mr. Gray and for his not so nice counterpart, Bonnie Gooch. Bonnie Gooch is a nice cat. She's just selfish. But anyway, this Australian Floetrol is really expensive. It's $55 for this little thing. It's just 500 mLs, which is about 2 cups. But it gives you what's called cell effects. Debbie says, we recently adopted a stray 3-month-old red tabby. He nearly died of toxoplasmosis after he'd been tested and vaccinated and passed the tests. So the vet did expensive tests for toxoplasmosis and sent it. Well, I hope he's doing okay now. I think from the pictures he looked pretty good. But anyway, this is really expensive. I'm hoping it works because I've not been able to get really good cells yet. And so I've tried like 4 other products, and I thought, this is ridiculous. You keep buying products, buy the one product that you know should work. So the first thing you do is you take your white. I may have to peel this one open. I've got a little trash can. It's on the wrong side of me. I just take a little box and put a Walmart bag in there. That way I don't get paint on any of my trash cans. Because if somebody's going to get paint on something, it's going to be me. Dawn can tell you about that. I'm washing up all the linens and stuff from the cat. He's good now. Pocket Rocket, love to Mr. Gray. Thank you. All right, so this is my white. I don't want to pour it right on here. And so the reason for having some paint down before you start, it's kind of called a pillow. The reason for that is when you pour your other paints, you want them to be able to move on the canvas because we're going to stretch them out. So I'm going to start with this. I should have put tacks in that. Let me put some cups under here. Anyway, I don't know what you guys have been doing. I don't know if you watched the debate between DeSantis and, thank you, sweetheart, Newsom. There we go. That's better. Move it into the shot so you can see. Between DeSantis and Newsom, I thought it was funny. I just think it's funny that anybody who runs a state where one of your major cities who you used to be mayor of, there's an app to tell you where the human feces is. Like, I think I would be so humiliated by that. I wouldn't have the nerve to run for president. But this guy's got balls of steel, and he's not actually running for president. Or is he? I don't know. Do you guys think he's actually running? What's the? I don't know what the story is here. I highly doubt he's running. So I'm just going to pour this on to the extent that I think I'll need it to cover. I'll try not to get too much in the way of what you can see. So that's just my white. That's I ordered this one. This is Nick Pro Acrylic Pouring Colors Premium White. All right, and then I'll spread that around. That's quite a bit of paint. And get my little cake baster here. Cake baster? Cake froster? All right. Make sure it's still in the shot. If I get out of the shot, chat me, because I get talking and I forget. Anyway, you can tilt it and get it all over that way, or you can just do what I'm doing and frost it. Shoo, that one's smelly. My other Artist Lofts paints don't smell so bad. I was working with some acrylics the other day, and I had a red heat lamp on to kind of help them dry. And something about that heat and the paint, I had a headache for days. So I may have to turn the fan on because this one's really smelly. So see how you get that paint? You'll get that paint that just kind of runs off the side, and that's okay. And these are flat canvases. These aren't the ones that are, have the frame mounted to them, but they're hard-backed. They're stretched over, I don't know, whatever they stretch canvas over. Anybody know? I don't know. All right, that's got that. And I got some paper towel. My sweetheart went and bought me some paper towels. He's good now, Pocket Rocket, Mr. Craig. I was watching Zach's show the other day, and he was going through just all the different court stuff and everything that's going on with Letitia and all these crazy people that are suing Donald Trump. And it's so funny because they keep, not funny, funny, sad. What did I do with the balloon? There it is. That they just keep coming after him. I'm like, I just don't understand to what end you're doing this. All right, so I'm going to use copper and turquoise for sure. And what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to start with some sort of shape here. Let's see what we can get. This is not an exact science. You can kind of do whatever you want. All right, there's my shape. And we'll do some turquoise. I bought some of the little ketchup squeeze bottles, and I do intend to put some stuff in there because these bottles tend to pour a little sloppy, and then I have to wash up my bottles when I'm done. Let's put a little bit more in there. All right. That's the well, this is not turquoise. It's what color did we say? Cobalt? Yeah, cobalt blue. I like that color a lot. And let's do some black. That'll be pretty. I don't want a ton, but some. I know you're thinking, what? She's just making a blob. And that may end up what it looks like when I'm done. It wouldn't surprise me. I've had some pretty unlucky paint pours since I've started this, but I kind of have to have a creative outlet. I don't know how you guys are. There's just only so much TV I can watch. And I kind of need to be learning stuff all the time. Or I get depressed. And so there's that. I'm doing several different things all at once. Artsy Christmas stuff. This isn't Christmassy. It's just we'll see what happens with it. I'm not sure what this is going to be. But yeah, I did do some ornaments. This is gold. I did some ornaments, and then I didn't like the way they turned out because the paint was too thick. The first ones that I did turned out really well. I gave those to my daughter for her birthday so she could use them for Christmas. Oh, and I forgot to do the Floetrol. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Floetrol. I'm going to put some paint in here. You know what? Let's do that in a squirt bottle because I need to base the back of my thing with it. Hold on. I got squirt bottles over here. I also got some India inks because you can make really cool fractiles with India inks, but I've just not had enough time to experiment with those. Of course, this is going to be hard to open. Right. See how much stuff I can throw on the floor. All right, so we're going to make our swipe paint Just artsy, yep. We're going to make our swipe paints with the Floetrol. And so what that'll do is that'll bring out some cells, hopefully. We'll see. I've not tried this before, so we're going to find out together. So you want equal parts, well, maybe not. We'll do a little bit less Floetrol than paint because it's expensive. And I'm told you can use paint conditioner to stretch it. And I have paint conditioner. I just don't have it up here. So, oh, let's set that up there. And then here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's go up 1, 2, 3 more. 1, 2. I'm not going to go 1 to 1. I'm going to go a little bit less. We'll see what happens. All right. We got to shake this up, and I've got my torch in case I get bubbles. Hopefully this turns out well. It looks like the colors are staying separate, which is good. All right, why is that? All right, so I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put this on the back of it, and then I'm going to drag it through the paint. And we'll see what happens. It's untelling what will happen. That's a Kentucky saying, untelling. All right, so I'm just going to go, you don't need a ton. Just over the back there. Hopefully I got it stirred well enough. We'll see. And I think that's plenty. All right. I'm going to run some of that off because that seems like a lot. And hopefully we'll get some cool looking little cells. There we go. All right. Oh, here goes nothing. Are you ready? Can you see? You can see. Okay. We're going to come across the front here. Super light. And just drag it across. Okay. And wipe that off. And you can see little cells starting to develop. Hopefully you can see that. Oh, look, there they are. That's so fun. All right. Let's do a little bit more. I think I got a little too much on the front end there, so we'll do a little less. Let me know if you can't hear me because I can turn things up. All right. And let's do this one this way. All right. And then, make a big mess here. Let's take, and I've got some bubbles, so let's put this closer. Trying not to be so super messy. I'm generally very messy with this. I try to get it all done before Dawn gets home because then I'm trying to cook dinner with all this. This just bursts any bubbles that are there. It also helps cells to develop. Don't set it on fire. That'd be bad. That top one didn't turn out very well, did it? Let's try that again. But it is getting cells, and that's cool. We'll do a little bit more. Shake this up a little better. I don't think we need more Floetrol. I think we've got enough. All right. Maybe I just didn't have it quite enough there. We'll try this. It's kind of bubbling up neat in the middle there. And they will develop more the longer they sit. I think I just got a little too much. Let's see if we can pull some of that down. I'll go that way with it. That's pretty cool. I love that little color that came off of it. Kind of want to save that, but all right. So the cells are developing. I don't like what happened up here at all, so I'm going to add some more color to that. And it is funny that the cells didn't pull through. Interesting. I don't know how people so consistently get good cells because I really struggle with it. All right, we'll try that. And what do you think? A little more red? Feels like I don't have enough red. But anyway, yeah, I watched the debate, so you didn't have to. Pretty much it was Ron saying the obvious. And I don't dislike Ron. Oh, that's got some pretty shine to it, actually. I wish it would have gone out a little bit more. I like Ron. He's a little nerdy. The thing that I always remind people is that you don't have to, and this comes as a shock to many people these days. I don't know why. You don't have to. Let's try swiping this one with black. Let's see what happens. We won't get the lacing, but let me get one more of these. I don't need to like the president. I just need the president to do a really good job. I didn't like Bill Clinton. The economy was good under Bill Clinton. That's just a fact. Yeah, we had the what is that called? The tech bubble burst. But like I said, you don't need to like the president. You just need him to do a really good job. I got a little crazier here with the Floetrol. We'll see how that goes. And this idea that you need to like him is just foolishness. You're not going to go have a beer with the guy. Don't be silly. You just need him to run the country. He can be a total dick and run the country and do a really good job. I mean, I would say that Hillary Clinton wasn't thinking much of Bill when he was having his romp with, what was her name? Monica Lewinsky. Thank you, babe. Got my tech support back there. He's doing a good job. All right. That feels like that's a lot. We'll run some of that off. Yeah, it's definitely thinner. All right, let's see what happens here. I'm going to go this way. And let's see if we get any cells there. It's not looking promising. It's going to be really frustrating if I don't get cells. Because the Floetrol is not cheap. I'm going to do white on this next one. Yeah, not a cell one in there. Isn't that crazy? We may just have to scrape it and start over. Sometimes that's the way it goes. That's how this presidency has gone. I feel like we just need to start over. Go back to when we could all afford our groceries and gas and have a little extra left in our pockets. See, that white wants to sell up, but this black, for some reason, is hateful. We still got some pretty colors in here, so we may be able to fix this up with our balloon. I do want to do a little bit more on that one. But anyway, what are you guys doing for Christmas? Are you going away? Are you staying home alone? Do you hate Christmas? Do you love Christmas? I think now that I have grandkids and I'm not having to kill myself to get by, I like Christmas again. Christmas was really hard when the kids were little because it's, hard not to be able to get them the things they want because you're, just a single mom struggling. But, we got through it. And, I was going to tell you this. So I had this, some fella, I won't say his name because I don't have his permission to say his name, that watched, I think it was my interview with Jeff Mara. Boy, I'm really disappointed in the cells on that. We may try a couple other things here. He watched my Jeff Mara interview on my near-death experience and just was so, I guess, moved by it, which was very sweet, that he sent me a donation that just about will cover my copay for the hospital. I say just about because they say you only have to stay one day, but every time they tell me I only have to stay one day, I end up having to stay more than one day. So it'll cover most if I just have to stay the one day. Oh, there's some cells coming up. I wonder if we swipe this one again over here. But then we're going to do the balloon thing, so I want to see what that looks like. Maybe we just do a thin line here. Maybe I'm doing too much. I'm always scared to set it down. You have to use a really light touch because you don't want to touch the canvas. What is that? Oh, and there's my pattern. I'll leave that like that. There, maybe some cells will come up now. But anyway, super nice, very appreciated. It's funny how you guys come through just in time. That was the case as well when I had COVID. So many people came through for me just in time. We were able to get our meds. I was able to get a breathing apparatus I needed to help my lungs from, not collapse. Let me paper towel go. I want to get that little one too. Let's wipe this off first so it doesn't get muddy. Anyway, we did a fundraiser because we needed $700 to get this peptide and some vitamin C injections because I needed some really high dose vitamin C because I was so sick. And I think that was going to be like $700. And I mean, I just don't have $700 just laying around. And so we did we do it no, we just asked people to make donations to Venmo. And I came back like 30 minutes later and was like, whoa, stop. Because they had given way more than what I needed. That's interesting. And so I'm like, let me send this money back to you. And people were just so sweet about it. They were like, no, I'm going to dump that down there and see if I can get a cute little skin out of that. They were like, no, you've done so much to educate us through COVID and everything. We want you to have the money. And I just was blown away. And so what we did was we bought the medical things that we needed. And then I went and we donated the rest of the money that was left. Where did I find that paint to stick my fingers in? We donated the rest of the money that was left to a program here at a church in Winchester that puts together backpack meals for kids. For them to have over the weekend because a lot of them don't have enough food to get through the weekend because they eat breakfast and lunch at school. Hold on. That's big enough. And so anyway, they used the money to pack extra meals for the kids. So that was super cool. And everybody got to be a part of that giving, which was super cool because, I didn't want to profit from the thing. I just wanted to be able to pay for those things. All right, here we go. We're going to do some balloon kisses and we'll see. And I want you guys, I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, guessing you can see pretty well. I don't know. We'll try it. I do like that there are some cool cells coming up, just not near as many as I would have thought. Maybe I need to put some cells. A lot of paint there. Maybe I need some paper towel. Maybe I need to put some of the Floetrol in some of the paint that's in the painting. I don't know. But I'm just going to there's still a lot of paint on here. And you got to wipe it off because you don't want it to be too muddy. Get enough of that off there. Put some of that back down there. There we go. I think this will be pretty. We'll get it. That one's got a lot of paint. Let's roll it back this way. Jeez. We're making a huge mess here. What else happened this week? We had a 15-year-old, I think he's 15, got killed in school, beat up by his classmates. I don't know what is going on with kids today. I feel like not enough parental involvement. I mean, why else would a child do something so horrible? I'm going to do a couple of these bigger ones and get some of this paint off. Well, there's a lot of paint there. Might should have. That's my new word, my new saying there. Might should have. That's pretty, actually. I like that. Let's dip over here and then don't have much paint there. Let's take some from here. All right, I'll choose the smaller one. Let's get this one all wiped off. Anyway, just crazy things kids are doing to each other. I saw that Dylan Mulvaney is depressed, which I could have told him would happen because when you take female hormones, you start having female emotions. And I feel bad that Dylan is depressed and that nobody told him that is why he would feel like crying all the time. I'm going to dump some of this over here. Let's see if we do another one. I don't have enough color. There we go. Anyway, I feel bad that he's depressed. I feel bad that I don't even know if Dylan is really trans. I mean, nobody knows what anybody really is. But going back and watching some of his stuff, I think, that's got so much white. I think, Dylan was willing to do anything to get famous. Dylan was trying to be an influencer, content creator. And it just, if you look at his numbers, it wasn't going very well for him. And he's obviously a gay guy. I don't have any problem with that. Obviously a gay guy. What do you think, babe?
Interesting.
It's the least ugly thing I've made so far.
Mm-hmm. It needed more. It's got a lot of white.
It does need more. I think you're right.
But you're getting the concepts. You're developing.
See how encouraging he is.
Yeah.
He's like, it's ugly as F, babe.
No.
But you're just learning, so
No.
it's okay.
No, I couldn't even come close.
It just is like a flowery. I think I want one more balloon, just a little smaller. There's like a lot over there. Let's move this and get some color there.
I have to show them how to scrape, babe.
You just take your tool and you scrape.
Start over.
And start over. That's right. If it doesn't look good, and don't be so much of a perfectionist. Life's hard enough without you putting a ton of extra pressure on yourself. It's just art. Let's make a smaller balloon because I do like what's happening here, though. This is the first painting I've done where I can say I like what's happening here. Where'd my balloons go? There they are. But anyway, I don't know what you guys think about all of that. Seems like a hot mess to me. A little smaller. There we go. Looks great. There we go. Got some feedback. You love the colors. Oh, good. I love that turquoise and the... Babe! Done. Oh, God, he went far away. Sweetheart. I'm... Oh, my gosh. Okay, wait. There we go. I got out. Whew. Scary. It is so funny how weird my head looks up there on that second camera. We're going to have to work on that. Oh, there's the Walmart order. I don't know what's happening with it because I can't look because I'm very too busy being artsy. All right, let's try the smaller one. Well, that's nice. And let's get some from here. And I feel like we just need some more color up there. I actually really like this. Anyway, what else did I see this week? The Texas Attorney General is suing Pfizer. Hooray, somebody should. I was on Twitter this week, and I don't spend much time on social media. It can be really habit forming for me, so I just don't. So if you friend requested me on Facebook, and you're never going to get a reply because I'm not on there. What's some of this right there? There we go. I do actually like this. We'll do another one where we leave some negative space. But it's very floral. It is meant to be abstract. Oh, that's nice. Let's take some of that, put it right there. And I can dig things that are abstract. Some people really, are not fans of abstract art. I'm generally not. Like, so much of it is just garbage. People trying to be offensive or edgy or whatever. I'm like, paint me something pretty. How about that? I'm not paying to go see some monstrosity where you've made Jesus out of feces or something. And I can't imagine how hot hell's going to be for that person, but I hear the weather there is not accommodating at all. I was telling Don the other day, oh, wait, first, let's discuss the great jiu-jitsu battle. I like that. I think I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going
It wasn't my fault.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys watched Dan Bongino. Happy Little Blobs, yes. I don't know if you guys watched Dan Bongino. I've got some bubbles in here. But he did a special. Was it last Friday, babe? I think it was last Friday. What is that? Just some schmutz in there. He did a video on just self-defense via jiu-jitsu, right? It's not. I don't know if it would pop the balloon or not, but let's not try. All right, I think we got it. So I'm going to trail a couple little things through there. I know I should stop. Part of getting decent at this is knowing when you should stop. And this is me not stopping when I think I should. That actually doesn't have much paint on it. I want... yeah, my paint's too thin. I'm not going to be able to do that. All right, we're going to set this one aside. All right, there's one. Did I leave myself a spot? Hey, sweetheart, can you bring me my drying rack from the hall? Thank you. So he was talking about self-defense, right? And so he showed this move. The guy's on the ground. So what it was is Dan is doing a live stream and he's got his jiu-jitsu coach or whoever this guy is, right? And so he gets on. Thank you, baby. Yeah, that's good. If you can just find a hole there. Anyway, that's what that looks like, guys. I'll get to you up close. It's very flowery.
It's going to drip. You got a big drip.
Yep, I see it. And that is Walmart replacing bread, I'm guessing. All right.
Got it?
I think so. Thank you.
Whoa.
Don't look.
Mishaps.
Don't look. Anyway, so he had this move, right? So the whole story is that when, it's great that you know all these moves, but if you don't know how to handle yourself on the ground, then you're screwed, right? And I don't want to be screwed. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to practice this. Oh, where are my other canvases? Oh, they're over there. So there's this move where one person is down on the floor on their back. So Don's on the floor on his back. I'm on top of him. And I'm trying to think if his legs are apart. Yeah, I've got my feet hooked around his leg, right? And so what you're supposed to be able to do, you want to control the hips, right? So he's like, just lift yourself off the person, don't be laying floppy on him. Lift yourself off and push down with your hips. And I'm like, well, that's not going to work because he's stronger than me. He's just going to roll me over onto my back and then he's got me, right? And so I decided so he's like, and if the person tries to roll you over, and I'm like, oh, he thought of it. And so he's like, just push your knee out. And then when they try to roll over, they'll hit that knee and they won't be able to go over. So I tried this in the great living room jiu-jitsu battle of the Whitbroats. And what I ended up with was a terribly skinned knee. And that wouldn't have been so bad. But at the same time I got my knee skinned, somehow Don managed some secret jiu-jitsu move called trap her boob under your armpit. So as he's trying to roll me, he's got my boob squeezed up under his armpit and he rolls and almost rips off my boob. seriously, like when it happened, and I've got a pretty good pain threshold. When it happened, I thought, oh my gosh, this must be kind of what it feels like to get hit in the nuts. And so I wanted to send something into Dan Bongino and say, hey, Dan, here's the deal. We tried your jujitsu move and I almost lost a boob and lost a decent amount of skin from my knee, but I'm not dead. So, I mean, I guess Dan would come back with that. But I don't think I'm going to be able to stop somebody from flipping me over is the point there. All right. We got another canvas here. All right. Now, let's do some different colors.
How are we going to do this, babe?
What do you got, groceries?
Yeah.
You're just going to put them away behind me. I'm going to scoot in. Let me get my paper towel where I can reach them. Oy vey.
Good?
Yeah. Okay, what color did we put down before? We did white, right? Let's do black this time. Should we try the black with the Floetrol? I don't know what happens if you put Floetrol. Let's find out. How about that? I know you guys were sitting home and you were like, man, if I mixed, what do you need, sweetie?
Well, I'm just thinking, compared to the other one,
Uh-huh.
you need more.
Color?
Well, I'm just thinking you need a
More
darker
colors.
background.
Okay.
Because I noticed that on some of the other videos, they have the dark and then everything kind of radiates through it. But remember that one that the lady messed up with?
Yeah.
And it ended up working out.
Yeah, she can fix anything.
Yeah.
That was kind of a fix. That wasn't exactly what I was intending. So I'm going to put down, I think I am going to put down the Floetrol layer. We'll see. I know you all were sitting home thinking, what would happen if I mixed acrylic paint with Floetrol and put it down as my bottom coat? I know you were thinking that. Don't lie to me. If only I knew. If only I didn't have to go buy all these supplies to find out. If only Penny Whitroat would make a video. I know that's what y'all were thinking. I could feel it. I sensed it. And now here we all are. Hi, Nurse Penny. Hello, friends. Hi, Coffin. We're acrylic painting. What do you think about that? We'll see what happens here. While Don puts away groceries.
Making a mess of the kitchen.
Okay. Why have a kitchen if you can't make a mess in it?
That's true.
All right, we'll get this all spread out. Hopefully we won't have any chunk in there. We'll get all that off there. All right, that's pretty. We'll see what happens with this cell activator on the bottom. So Australian Floetrol is different than American Floetrol. I don't know how or why or in what way. But it does make cells. I tried the American Floetrol, didn't get any cells. Tried silicone, didn't get any cells. So let's do some white. This has got Australian Floetrol in it too. I have no idea what happens if you mix these things. What do I want to do? You know what? Let's do a pour. All right, we'll put some white in here. And close that lid up. And then let's put some of our turquoise. If you guys can see that. Yeah, you can. And you kind of, if you pour your paint down the side of the cup, they won't mix so much. Okay, so there's my turquoise. Oh, that almost went bad. Let's do some black. And this is just the black out of the bottle. It doesn't have Floetrol in it. And I'm just gonna, not a lot. All right, let's do some copper. Make sure we're still in frame there. We are. All right, some copper. I like a lot of copper. Okay. And let's do some white. And then we'll put some red in. And you just kind of keep going until you get your cup full. Now this should give us cells. We've got Floetrol all through this. I'm going to be really disappointed if it doesn't. Let's do some more turquoise and then we'll do some gold. So there's the turquoise. let's do the gold. I should have done that burnt umber or whatever that color is over there. Maybe we'll get that on the next one. But anyway, so for our Christmas, I probably won't be eating anything by then. So it'll just be enjoying the fun of getting together while drinking liquids because, you know, that's super fun. I can't see Debbie's post. Hi, sweetheart. Oh, Debbie Hatton. Hi, honey.
Tell her hi from me.
Don says hi, too. There's some red. We're doing some acrylic paint pouring, Debbie. Debbie's my local friend here. Some more white. Okay, I think we've got plenty of paint. Now, let's do a zigzag pour. You want to do a ring pour? Let's do a ring pour. That'll be fun. So to do a ring pour, you just go around and around and around. And we'll see what kind of cells. I'm going to go down this way a little bit and back. Let the rest of that run out over here. Actually, I might let it run out on the mat and see if we get some good. That's pretty. That's got some depth, doesn't it? Let's torch it. Let it set a second here.
That's way cooler. That's nice.
Mr. Whiprout likes this one.
Yes, I like that.
Let's hit this black too.
Don't go crazy with the balloon, okay?
I'm not. It's cool that it's got these 3 little designs over here.
Yeah.
I actually want to pull up. I've got some paint here on the mat that's actually, I messed it up. There we go. Let's see if we
I
can.
love that. It's kind of a lens flare inside of a lens flare.
We'll put, the cool thing is you can transfer these patterns onto your palette knife. Let's get that one without messing it up. We'll come out here and we'll do a couple more little planety looking things. There we go. That's pretty cool looking, I think. And you can see it's wanting to slide off the back there. We're going to slide it down here in a second. Throw this away. I love the little planets outside of that one. That's pretty cool. What do you think, babe?
Yeah, I like that.
Isn't that cool?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll tip it and stretch it out a little bit. We might lose some of those. Steve, honey, you can't come up here while I'm painting. You want to always stretch it back to your middle so you don't lose too much of your proportion there. I think I'm gonna swallow up these bottom ones here. I'm gonna come down this side and stretch it back.
Wow, it's changing.
Yeah, I like how that it took that black up.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, that's your first time trying something like that, right?
I did a ring pour the other day, and I just didn't have a ton of luck with it. I do think I want to leave some of that black space, though. We'll come this way a little bit. It's going to make some pretty jewelry if you can see the little spots on the mat. I had done, what's the material that is under this, babe? It's a little black over there.
Metal. It's I can't think of what it's called. They use it in the sign business.
Yeah, it's
It's got Alumilite.
Alumilite.
Yeah, Alumilite.
I've got a piece of Alumilite under this because I was just pouring it onto the canvas or onto the canvas and then it would roll off onto the silicone mat. All right, let's look at that. Oh, I like that. I like that. Get some paper towel here and wipe off my hands. Oh. What do you think? You guys like this one? Sorry. That turquoise really spread out nice. Friend, what did you learn in class? Me, how to flip someone off. Friend, bet you can't flip me. True, probably not. Friend, as all 6'3" flies over my shoulder. You guys are cute. What do you think, guys? You like this one? Let's torture again, see if we can get some more cells. I love how this looks like a planet, like the rings of Saturn over here in the corner. A couple little bubbles there. Oh, look at that, babe. Look at how that's developing
Oh, that's awesome.
with that center there.
Yeah, looks like a
I feel like I should roll it back in and bring it in some.
planet inside, or
Inside rings, yeah, like a galaxy. Let's see if we can bring it back out down a little.
that's cool.
Nope, that's where it wants to stay.
This one, the best
This
yet.
one turned out really well. I do want to take
Let's see, what did
this.
someone say about putting down some dark background?
Yeah, we were right.
This non-art person.
Yes, dear. That was a wonderful suggestion.
Wonderful suggestion. Might want to write that one down.
I might. When in doubt, add some black. That's cool. It's kind of like a little ghost. Let's come around here. There we go. I like that one. I say we leave her. I wish it had more cells. I don't know what it takes to get more cells. But they're starting to come up. Look there in the middle. I feel like I want to torch it one more time. Debbie likes this one. All right. Hey, babe, my thing went off.
Yeah.
Press home to unlock.
Hey, don't paint it.
Can you fix that? They can see the code. So if you want to turn it, turn it.
Oh.
Can't trust these people. Oh, man. What's going on there? There we go. I cannot believe we didn't get more cells. We did get some cells. I am super impressed with that upper corner. This one's super pretty. I may take this apart, or actually I may just affix the top. I've got a spot over here that needs covered. I'm making little boxes for the grandkids to put things in, and I may use this for one of the boys for the top of that box. That's super pretty. Very nice. Debbie, okay, well, I'm glad you guys like this one. There we go. All right. Let me see if I can get this closer so you can get a better look.
All right. You good?
Mm-hmm. You're fixing to drip. Got that little corner there. So once I get these, once they dry, I'm going to put this on the rack. Those are two very different looks. I still like that flowery one though. But this one's really psychedelic looking. I love it. All right, that was fun. I say we do another one like that. What do you think? And I've got some other colors. Look at this mess we've got here. But we've got, look, that's going to make a beautiful skin. Those are going to be beautiful for jewelry. I might tilt those out a little. Do this so we don't get stuff everywhere. I don't know. I might just let them dry thick like that. The thing with letting them dry thick, though, is if you're putting them in the little pendant jewel pieces, you can't have them so thick that they pop the little glass piece out. So I'm not quite sure how to spread those out. We won't worry about them right now. Let's get another canvas. Mr. Whitroad is hard at getting the groceries put away, which I appreciate. That one here. All right, I hadn't expected to do a bunch of these because generally they've not been turning out very well, but here we are. All right, so we'll do black. Let's try the not Floetrol black. How about that one? We'll do the regular one. We'll see what happens here. And you don't have to worry if you get little schmutz on your thing. It's all going to get covered with paint anyway. So we'll paint this one black. And then let me think about some different colors. I've got a lot of metallics. Let's do some greens in this one. I've got some metallic greens and blues. We'll have to mix those up a little bit. Let's let that spread around. All right. So here's my metallics box. Oh, we've got, here's a really pretty lime. I'll use that. That'll be pretty against that Here's just a forest green. I have 3 different colors of green. Let's do 2. Then let's do, what is that? That's copper. Rich espresso. That might be nice. I need more room. Hold on, we got to move something. Something's got to give here. Move these back. There we go. All right, so we got the 2 greens. We've got this espresso color, which is going to be pretty. And these are all the shiny metallics. Let's do a good pink in here. Plum purple. Let's do that. Let's pick one more. Let's do silver. That's black. Is that silver? Shimmer silver. All right. There's our colors. And these will have to be thinned down a little bit because they're a little heavy. I don't think they're made for pouring. No. We'll see what they're like when we get them in the cups. I feel like I've got way too much going on over here. All right. Got our little balloons. I started out super neat. So we've got 5 colors to mix. So this is the plum purple. And, well, yeah, they're a little thick. All right, so we'll mix some Floetrol. Let me get a little bit of water. Or you know what? Hang on. I've got that wood conditioner. Let's use that. Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff out over here. If only you could see. No, I want the conditioner one. Hang on, guys. That's Floetrol. There's the conditioner. Okay, this is latex paint conditioner. And I can't remember where I got the idea to use this, but I want to kind of cut down on how much Floetrol I use. So we'll mix this a little at a time because this is really watery. I put maybe a teaspoon in there. All right, let's stir that. This is the pink. You guys can see, yeah. Of course, my nose is going to run. So that's a little thick, gloppy. Let's mix in some Floetrol. Now the Floetrol won't diminish your color, really. You'll still pretty much get that same color. It'll just be thinner. Let's see. Maybe a little bit more. Another half teaspoon or so. And you just kind of got to get the feel for these. That's good. Kind of like honey. It stays on the top for a minute, which doesn't disappear right away. So that's good. All right, there's that one. Now, good night. I got too much stuff out here. Okay, now let's do the silver. What are you guys doing for Christmas? Are you buying gifts? Are you making gifts? This one's not opened yet. Is there certain stuff your kids want or your grandkids? My grandkids are so different in ages. We've got our oldest is 11, and then the baby just turned 1. But I'm looking forward. I think that like 2 to 3-year-old time is really the best, as far as like their first Christmases, because that 2 to 3-year-old time, they're just starting to figure out what's going on and, kind of the excitement of presents. Harper's our littlest. She didn't really get it at her birthday. She's like, I don't understand. There's a lot of people here. I'm overwhelmed. There's that silver. That's super thin. Put too much in it. Get some more here. Well, there we go. Anyway, she was just overwhelmed by everybody and kind of was like, can y'all go home so I can play with my toys? Very sweet. Smart. It's so funny how smart the kids are these days. So we've got Cole that's 11, Nora's 9. I think that's right. Isn't that terrible that I can't remember? Also, if you put this in your paint when you're making skins, I think it's that. It's that or the pouring medium. I can't remember which one, but the skins will be thicker. What do you think? I still think that's a little thin or a little thick. Anyway, I don't know like what they're into as far as toys. So I kind of wanted to make presents this year because I'm going to be home and, it saves a little money for sure. And the girls, that's good. The girls like jewelry and what's this one? That's just white. Let's put that over there so we don't mix up. All right. We've got the silver. We've got the purple. Let's do this. I've not opened this one yet. This is the espresso. I think this is going to be pretty. We'll see. Trying to figure out. I'm going to make myself some yummy broth for dinner. But got to figure out what to feed Mr. Whitbroat. Because he is not on a liquid diet. And I bet he's glad for it. All right. We'll put a little bit of this in. Whoa, that's a lot. That's way more than I wanted to put in there. This is the gold. Look at it all getting mealy. Interesting. What did I pour in there? That was the paint conditioner. That's going to be pretty on the thing. It's got a lot of shine to it. The greens will be nice too. That was way too much conditioner. It was when I did it. All right, let's see if we can thicken that up. And there's that. Anyway, I haven't seen any real paint pouring videos on Rumble. There's a ton of them on YouTube, of course. Lots to go and watch. Steven. He's always into something. That's pretty good. I'll leave that one there. All right. Got two more? No. Yes, two more. We got our greens. Okay, this one is lime, and it's super pretty. Hopefully it's open. Of course not. Who's in the trash bag? I put a trash bag out so as not to get stuff on the floor. And of course, one of the cats has to walk on it. All right, let's try this. And I know this takes up a lot of time, but we're here just to kind of chat. I was telling Don a long time ago when my youngest was little. Well, all my kids were little at the time. Well, that's pretty. I'm going to just do Floetrol on this one. Jake decided he was going to run away. And he couldn't find a suitcase. And so he packed a drawer. He pulled a drawer out of his dresser and he packed it. And he took off out of the house with it. There's a green. He took off out of the house with it and down the street. And so, of course, his siblings, siblings are ruthless. Laura's like, Jake's walking down the street with a drawer. I'm like, yeah, he couldn't find a suitcase. He's running away. We'll just see what happens, Didn't go after him or anything. A little cul-de-sac neighborhood. He couldn't go anywhere far. He didn't carry that, maybe a little bit more. He didn't carry that drawer too far before he finally came back home. He's like, this sucks. I don't have anything to eat. I don't have any money. God love him. All right, here's our last one. This is the forest green, and I think I've used this one. No? All right, you two. Anyway, so do you guys do crafts? I know Let's Get Sewing's not here, but I know Let's Get Sewing sews. What's that? Good grief. Oh, there's the pink. Let's put that up there. All right, here's our final one. That's our green. That's super pretty. Super pretty. Just a little splash of this. We'll get the lid back on it. You really, really don't want to go overboard with that. It gets too watery. I think we'll have plenty of paint. We'll do a pour. Do a ring pour. We can do, thicken that up a little bit or thin that out. All right, now get out of the way there. The balloon's causing trouble. All right, there's the green. That's super pretty. I love that color. Still a little thick. Anyway, when my kids were little, we used to have this tradition where I would buy them, everybody got new pajamas on Christmas Eve. And then everybody got a book, and they all got the same book, and I wrote something in the book. I kept the books. until they were older. I think I gave them to him. It's been a while. But we would read, put the new pajamas on, read the book. I still think that's a little thick. And then they would go to bed and, try to sleep until Santa came. And the other thing that we used to do was we always had birthday cake on Christmas morning because it's Jesus's birthday. So that was always fun. The kids always looked forward to being allowed to have birthday cake for breakfast. I'm sorry, guys. I hate how this is I don't know, maybe because of the way I've got me zoomed in, I just look totally out of proportion. All right, there's that green. That's super pretty. So let's get a cup. Do we have 4 cups under there? Yeah, let's spread this out first. All right, here's this black. Just kind of make sure your whole canvas is covered. So funny that I'm trying to teach you anything about this. I barely know what I'm doing myself. But the fun of acrylic paint pouring is you don't have to be an accomplished artist to do it. Anybody can do it. And I would encourage you guys to try it. You're going to mess some stuff up. That's okay. Don't sweat it. It's all just a learning process. And you can just scrape these off and just start again. All right, let's wipe that off. Last craft was the gnomes we did. Oh, yeah. Maybe we'll revisit the gnomes this year. We did those gnomes. Those were so fun. All right. Let's get a clean cup. And let's start. I do want to put some white in this. Okay, so we'll start with white. This is the white that has the Floetrol in it. And let's do this lighter green. Boy, those are thick. Okay. And then let's do this. What was this color? This was the gold. No, this is the espresso. Get some of that in there. And what's that? Here, let's do some pink. I'm going to pour some pink in there. We'll see what that pink looks like with the green. Who knows? It's so funny, though, because I see people doing all these pours, and they use all these different colors and colors that I would think that's just not going to work at all. That's white. Let's do a little bit more white. Well, not much in there, is there? That's okay. Let's use this pretty green. Lots of green in there. Okay. I've got paint on my armpit, which is fun. It's a good little sensation back there to have your bat wings wet. There's gray. Let's do some more of this espresso. That's really going to warm it up. And we'll do more green. I really like this darker green, but we'll do some of the lighter green too. This is way more paint than I need. And I don't know how you judge how much. There's one guy on there. Is it Mojo or Joe Art, or I can't remember what his name is. I probably saved one of his videos. But he's really good at kind of knowing how many ounces. Here, let's do some of the pink. How many ounces you're going to need to cover a particular size canvas. All right, now that we've got that, let's clean off my bat wing here. I know, not anything anybody wants to see, but it's got to be done. All right. This stupid thing keeps going off, and so I can't read the chat. There we go. Last craft was the gnomes, you're right. All right, and then there's some white. Do a bunch of that. Some of it went down in there. We'll see what happens. Okay, so we did a ring pour this time. I'll kind of do like a little jiggly pour. How about that? That sound good? PJ says, yeah, it was the gnomes. Okay. So let's... There's a lot of white in there. And there comes the green. Let's turn it a little bit. Come down here. Come up here and do a little. Oh, that's pretty. I like that pink. Just go around in little circles there. And we'll finish up kind of like that. All right. I'll set that upside down there and let that run out. I like that already. Those colors look really good together. I wasn't sure about them, but I like them. Let's stretch this a little. I think this is the last one we'll do. So I have my surgery Monday, and I will definitely give you guys an update as to how I'm doing. I don't know if I'll do a video. We'll see how bad I feel. I was so pukey the last time. Hopefully we don't have that this time. All right, now let's torch this because I can see a bunch of bubbles. Where'd my torch go? There it is. All right. Oh, this is going to make some pretty cells, I can tell. All right, let it set a minute. Those bubbles will kind of keep coming up, so sometimes I kind of burp them. Okay, we'll see what else comes up. Let's just use this. And I'm just going to kind of make some little twirly patterns. Oh, that black came through. That's nice. Come around here. Oh, that brought some black through. Oh, the black's bringing some cells. Interesting. We'll go around here real light. I just want to see if I can pull a little black up. Might have to do it with a balloon. I don't want to blur it too much, though. All right. I wonder if I like that black or not. We'll see what happens here. Let's stretch it out a little bit more. Come down here. Oops. I'm going to run it off a little bit up here. I'm going to run that black off. I'm not crazy about that now that I look at it. Oh, the purling of this is so pretty. Those metallics, they're just amazing. All right, pour that off there. Oh, I don't want to lose all the pink. There we go. This is kind of my favorite part, is the stretching it out. Let's run some of that black off. There we go. This is really pretty. These colors are gorgeous together. I'm liking that. Let's come down this way. Oh, interesting. Cells are coming up through the paint. We'll see if we like that or not. Get some more of that black off. I don't want to lose that piece. Okay, now let's come down this way. I may have to scrape this one. I don't like those black cells coming through. Now the cells want to come through. I might actually take some of that black and swipe it. Sorry, I know you can't see that very well. I'm just kind of running it down to that edge. Okay, well, lesson learned. Don't put the cell color on the bottom. It is interesting. I just don't like those cells on the bottom. Gosh, and I really like the top. Yep, I'm going to scrape this one. This is what happens sometimes, guys. It's okay. I'm going to scrape it into here so that I can reuse this paint. And people are like, don't scrape it. Be a what? Beautiful. You like it? I don't like it with those. I'm going to scrape those off. There we go. It's okay. Don't fret, because I can re-pour that. I just don't like those black cells. And I'm going to pull that one out. All right, now let's put some more black down and re-pour this. Now let's just screw it. All right. Okay. Now, I've got to get all that off there because we don't want that to happen again. So now I know why we don't put that on the bottom. Live and learn, right? Oh, there's a big comment. I couldn't watch the debate because I don't want to puke, but I did love the poop app map. That was so funny. I kind of figured he would do that. Like, why would you not? If somebody's, I mean, if you're debating somebody who comes from someplace that has a poop app map, you're crazy if you don't bring that up. All right, there we go. Got that all off there. We'll see what those skins end up looking like. They might be really pretty. So don't fret about the wasted paint because if I can use it in jewelry, I will. All right, now let's use the regular black. We'll try it again. Where'd my black go? There it is. This black has no Floetrol in it. I thought I didn't use the Floetrol one, but I guess I did put some down. All right. The black and the white goes so quick because you use it for so many different things. Should have cleaned that up a little bit, but that's okay. Don't worry. I have a feeling it's going to be okay. Yeah, so I did watch the debate. I tried to watch it with Crowder and them. The talking over it is annoying to me, so I couldn't really do that. But a lot of people like the commentary. I'm not hating on Crowder because got a lot of viewers, so a lot of people do like that. But I mean, I really wanted to hear what they had to say. I don't know why. It's not like Gavin Newsom's even running for office, but we'll see what happens. You know, my theory is that Joe's going to fall ill or some other such thing, and then Gavin will kindly step in. Kamala will step down. You know, she'll decide she wants a Supreme Court seat or something like that. I saw Sandra Day O'Connor died. I know she retired from the court already, but there was that. All right, let's see. Hopefully we've got enough. Dang it, we're going to have to make more paint. All right, green. You guys got nothing else to do, right? Besides sit around and watch me make paint. There's our light green. I really like these colors together, so I could have gotten away with not using more of that. This one is nothing. That one is, let's get some of these cleaned up. That's nothing. All right, for Pete's sake. There's our pink. I think we need more pink. Did we not use a purple? We should have used a purple. There we go. My gloves are getting sticky. There's our green. Here's our espresso. I got plenty of that. And then it's pretty much silver. All right, let's fix these up. Anyway, you couldn't watch the debate. It's torture for Don. You know, he just can't. He finds the whole thing very stressful. All right, let's see. Hopefully that's enough. There's our little pink stick. My little balloon's deflating. Doggone it. All right, there's our pink. That's so pretty. And here's our green. I love the start green. Nice. Okay. Here's our espresso. That looks good. And this is our light green. I feel like we're missing a color. Silver. There it is. This one needs more. Anyway, I saw that they put out George Santos, which I think was stupid. Yes, he's a liar, but he votes conservative, and that's really all you need him for. I mean, if you can have Fetterman in there, not that Fetterman's done anything wrong, but I mean, the guy barely functions. The whole point of having Santos in there is because you need that Republican vote. We have such a slim majority. I don't know whose fool idea it was to put him out. You don't see him putting out Menendez, who, had gold bars in his pockets and was being bribed by Egypt. And John Fetterman talked about that. I'm like, I actually agree with John Fetterman on that. All right, and there's our silver. All right, okay, let's make a pour cup. Let's do, that one can go up there. Okay, let's do green. Try not to stick my arm in it again. Okay, and let's do this espresso. I love this espresso. It's so pretty. Okay, and then let's do silver. Do a good little amount of that. And let's do some pink. But yeah, to me, that made no sense at all. Yes, he's a liar. Yes, he may have been involved in some inappropriate campaign activities with the money. Good luck finding somebody that hasn't. I just think it's crazy. Why would you do that when you need that majority so badly? Oh, let's put some white in here. We'll do some of the cell white. We've got a little bit. Don't want a bunch. Now, what color was that on? Let's do the espresso. A bunch of that. I love that color. And let's do that dark green. And let's call it a day with that. Okay. Ready? Here we go. Elon had advice for advertisers this week. I saw that. It was, go F yourself. Go F yourself. How do you not love that? Okay, we'll do a ring pour. And that's just where you go in a circle. You try not to pour so fast. Oh, this is going to be pretty. Where's the pink? There it is. I feel like I should have put more white in that. We'll see what happens. I'll just keep going in circles until that. I think this is going to be pretty. It's kind of a 70s color palette. All right, there's that. I kind of hate to move it. All right, let's slide her down a little bit. Not too fast. Let's go this way. We'll go this way. I tell you what, we had a heck of a time getting this all set up, and I'm still not happy with the camera, but what are you going to do, right? Okay, let's stretch it. Take that copper off the edge there. Or gold. It's gold, isn't it? I think it's gold. Oh, look at those rings come out. That's pretty. And I am going to make some flowers out of this one. I'm going to leave a little space on the sides. Run that off there real quick and back. Yeah. And look, the black is still selling up. That's crazy. All right. Well, it is what it is, right? Pop some bubbles here. Okay. I'll leave it like that. And torch it. I'm trying to remember to look up for comments. Someone did a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire skit with Elon that was brilliant. Oh, I'm going to have to find that. Look at those cells come up through there. They're just doing what they're going to do. That's so frustrating. A lot of bubbles, really. There are some cells coming up. You don't want to scorch your paint. I don't know at what point that happens, though. Okay. I hate those black dots. I hate them. All right, I'm going to blow this out a little bit. I need my straw. I don't know where it's at. And let's turn it. I do need a straw. Hang on. Look at a puddle of paint going here. It's ridiculous. Hopefully I can find a straw. Let's see. I had one out. Give me a second. Sophie, did you find enough stuff to lay in? Oh, you knocked my paints out. It's as organized as it sounds, you guys. Where's my straw? Oh, you know what? I've got my little blower. I forgot. I'll give up on the straw. I hate that this keeps coming up with these black spots in it. That sucks. And I don't know how to fix it. I might just balloon it and see what happens. Here's the fan. It's going to be loud. My water. Step on that. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Okay, I want to leave some of that in the middle. All right. Did I lose you guys? Let's see. I know it looks like a mess, but give it a second. All right. Let's do some kisses. All right. We've got two different. Ah, my one balloon went down. All right. We'll start with this. It's still a lot of paint. Yeah, that's a lot of paint. And just do these little kisses and pull off some of this paint. There we go. That's a pretty one. Hopefully the cells will come up through that. That would be pretty. I don't want to lose all my color here. That's kind of cool looking. Let's use our little balloon. This one's not holding up well, is it? It's got a lot of paint right there. That's kind of cool looking. I might leave it just like that. Maybe one more right there. What do you think? Right there. Right there. Maybe two here. I don't know how you know when you're done. I guess you know when you're done because you've stopped. One right there. That there. And let's do another one there. All right. This is coming along fabulously. I do like that it's got some negative space in it. It's not my favorite one, but I don't hate it. So there's that, right? Let's fix this. Boy, that's a lot of paint. Gosh, so much paint there. I don't want to mess up my whole corner agonizing over the amount of paint. All right, I think we'll leave that one like that. It is kind of webbing up and coming through. That's kind of neat looking. I feel like it needs a little more color in it. How about some copper? I'll do some copper. I know you're like, oh my God, you're wrecking it. Not wrecking it, I promise. Just needs a little bit more visual interest, I think. Totally destroyed this roll of paper towels. That's okay. It's okay. You guys think Mr. Gray will forgive us for putting him back outside? I feel so bad about it. Oh, that's nice. I'm going to go in and put some little ones in after this. So much black paint. Funny, because the last one had a lot more contrast, I feel like. Of course, we used a whole different colors this time, didn't we? Nice. Fix that. I think this will dry really pretty. We'll see. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Like once, maybe. I've dust on. I'm sure he'll say it was never more than once. He can't say anything. He almost ripped my boob off the other day. So if you just got here, you'll have to rewind to find out how that happened. All right. Want more copper, I think. Let's do some little. Oh my gosh, I'm so sticky. I'm sticky. What is it? It's fluffy, I think the little girl says. Mr. Gray belongs to the world. It's like I've been watching Fresh and Fit, and if a girl is particularly trashy, they say that she belongs to the street. Mr. Gray belongs to the world. I love that. This isn't really making much. Okay, we've got enough paint off there now. Now we've got a problem in the middle. Remember when I told you about knowing when to stop? A little paint there. All right. Last time through, I promise. Yes, that's what you said before, Penny. I know. But then these other things happened, and then there needed to be more pouncing with the balloon. It is relaxing to watch. I watched just a bunch of these videos. I don't know how she gets her kisses to turn out so pretty. I do like that that's brighter in the middle. Let's bring some of that over here. All right. What do you think? I think it lacks, here's my assessment of it. I think it lacks a focal point, which I think is problematic. I think I want some of the green to really show up more. So I'm going to come on. Got plenty on there. I always have a hard time knowing, and I think maybe it just comes with practice. Like you do need, and you definitely don't want it in the center. You do need a focal point for sure. But, you know, if you're not painting like a house or something that looks like something, I find it difficult to figure out what a focal point is of an abstract painting, if that makes sense. Oh, I forgot to get paper towel. I'll use this. Geez, that's a lot. Okay. There's just not much paint right there. I can see my canvas. I feel like I'm doing the balloon thing wrong. There's just not enough paint there. Trying to find where there's extra paint so I can get it down there. There we go. There's a bunch of extra. I don't know. Not bad for somebody who's not an artist, right? Of course, that's never what you want to hear. That's not bad for somebody who knows nothing about art. Oh, there we go. There's a pretty flower. Nice. I like that white. There's some really cool patterns going off on the side of the thing here. Anyway, so be praying for me on Monday and thereafter until I'm recovered, if you don't mind. I can always use prayer, and I do have people that specifically have me on their prayer list all the time, which I think is the coolest thing ever. Nice. Okay, I really like now that we're mixing some of this in. I'm getting some of this other color. Just felt like it didn't have much depth to it before. And let's see if we've got something over here that we could use. What's underneath here? A lot of mess is what's underneath here. Oh, that's pretty. Let's do that right there. I got a couple little spots in the middle where there's not a lot of paint. But I think we should stop because it can only get worse from here. I am going to do a couple little small balloon things and then we're done. All right. But this was fun. I enjoyed hanging out with you while making things because I like making things and I like hanging out with you. So, I mean, that's just a win-win no matter who you talk to. Oh, there's some that on there. Let's fix that. Let's get some of this, dip it here. Oh, that's pretty. We didn't even come over here, did we? A lot of paint right there. Let's get some of that off there. Probably need to pour that down, but I think I just wasn't pushing hard enough with my balloon because this is really coming up nice. Let's put some of that right there. I like it. I hated it at first, but I think it's come along. We'll leave it at that. All right. I hope you liked the painting. I didn't bring a bunch of news topics to talk about because I just wanted to hang out with you. I'm going to do this one more time right here. I do like that you can see some of the, there we go. You can see some of the little cells coming up. That's pretty. I think that's going to dry really nice too. As much as I don't love it now, I think it's going to be really pretty when it dries. So there's that. And once they're dried and I've got a coat of shine on them, I will definitely get those pictures. I feel like there's a little spot over here. Right there. That's better. Right there. Right there. There's always little improvements it seems like I could make. I really like this smaller balloon now. It seems to be picking up. Hold on. I need more copper over here. I'm digging the copper. Do you guys like the copper? It's such a pretty color. Let's put some down here, pick some up, and just move it around a little bit and give some of these that don't have a ton of anything but white going on. I think when that copper dries, hope you guys can hear okay. I hope when that copper dries that it, hold on, let's wipe this off, that it pops up through. I was disappointed that I did not get the cells. It makes me want to just do one more canvas so I can see if I can get cells and not worry about, just do a swipe and maybe we'll do that here. All right. Still want to put some of this copper over here. All right, we'll leave that one. Let me throw this out. And let's try one and just see if we can get some cells because I really, if you guys are chatting, I can't see it. All right, so there's that one. Let's put her off to dry here. Oh, that one's drying so nice. That's definitely my favorite. Should we look at all three of them? Maybe we stop there because I've got some groceries I need to put away. But let's look at all three of them. You want to see them again? Let's move some of this out of the way. We need a bus boy is what we need. I don't know that I'm going to have much to save out of those. All right, throw these cups away. And these, we'll have to put in little squirt bottles. We'll save those because there's a lot of paint left. I may just do one more when I get off here. And then Mr. Whitbread will never get his supper. Poor guy. He had to go to work this morning and it was cold and it was rainy. And most days I'm just so glad I'm not him because I couldn't do it. I couldn't work out there. They had one of their fellows quit, so the workload's been extra crazy. Okay. Waiting for that to run out. I don't think it's going to run out. Move our little pillow here. Our little balloon, and I'm going to just throw that away. Okay. Throw this away, and I'll bring the pings over here so you can look at them. And this paint I will just pour off to use. Well, it's got that Floetrol in it, so I'll probably just dump this. So I'm just going to do that and get this out of the way here. And then I'll show you the three different ones we did. Okay. What a mess. It is a mess. It's a lot to clean up. If we can pour those in like that. There. No, I could just go hose that off. Set that there. Okay. You ready to see all three of them? Uh-oh. Somebody sent money. Let me get up and look. I can't see. Oh, my Gatorade came. Hold on. I'm coming over. It says, Casey Anthony got away with it. $10. Living in the United States and as an American, what is our responsibility as God's children? Do we have to just stand by and let our country keep pushing destruction around the world with our taxes? No. No, let's post that one so everybody can see it. So I'll give you my perspective as somebody who has had a near-death experience and been in the presence of God. Let me get some gloves here. don't need gloves to be around God, but if you're going to handle paint, you should have some on. So I've been thinking a lot about this because, there are people who follow me just for my near-death experience. And so they get kind of bent out of shape if I talk about anything political. And I think part of that is that we have learned in church for so long that there's this separation of church and state, and that, in church and people that are church people shouldn't be talking about these things. And I think that's BS. God understood when we came here that that we would have a world to manage, and that part of that would be political. Without question, he understood that. And you cannot, if you do not keep things in control politically. See if I can get the air out of this. Hold on, I got my little scalpel over here. What do I do with it? Well, I had it. Oh, here it is. That was fun. So we've got this world to live in, and it is on us to take care of it. So there's the first one. Let's turn some more light on in here. And we are called to, I had some black pop through on this one too. We are called to be good stewards of what God gives us. So if you're in Congress or, in a position in the government, your job is to be a good steward of the money that we gave you. And, paint's running down the stove. I have to clean that up. What a mess. All right. So no, you need to be reaching out. If your congressmen are not spending your money the way that you think they ought to be spending it, then you need to be active about that. You need to do something about it. I mean, this world, I think because so many of us who are Christians didn't, whether you're a Christian or not, so many of us didn't want to be political. And we saw that as bad form. That's how we were raised, that you don't talk about sex, religion, or politics in mixed company. And while, yes, that's true if you want to avoid an argument, it is not true for life, because we need to be able to say things. Okay, here's the first one, that is that turquoise red copper flowers, okay? And then let me move this one out, move this one in. This is the copper red, turquoise, white, and black, which turned out super cool. I cannot mess it up. It had all kinds of neat little cells in it. It's a cool little abstract piece. I love that corner. So yes, absolutely. We are not called to let the government waste our money, let the government use our money in illegitimate or dishonest ways. I do not think we are called to just stand by while our government sends good money after bad money into wars and conflicts that have nothing to do with us. Like the thing that's going on in Israel right now. Do we need to be an ally? Absolutely. Does that mean that we need to send money and troops? No, they've got it under control. I don't know what's happening in Gaza. I can see, different reports, different things that people are saying that, this is going on or that's going on, but I have no way of validating any of that. And so I'm left to just assume. I'm going to turn one of these cameras off so that I can just talk to you. Let's just move this one back to where it goes. I don't want to drop it in the paint. My friend Vector, who has a cooking show, so I can't remember, it's Vector something. I can't remember what the last numbers are of that, but Vector has been working on getting his setup together for his show. If I can get this clamped on. Sorry, guys. Good night. And let's turn that way. There. And let me turn off the second camera. Remove. Yes. Move. Yes. Hold on. I'll get me back. Okay. Then we can take this one off. I stuck it on there with some tape that's pretty powerful. But it comes off the outer box. So anyway, what were we talking about? I know you can see my huge mess now. We're definitely called to be active in our governance. And anyone who tells you differently, any church that tells you differently is wrong. This idea that churches shouldn't have a say in what's going on because they're a church, because they're a 501c3, that's actually inaccurate. The government is to form no religion, but that has nothing to do with perhaps kissing it with kitty paw prints. That has nothing, what the government, anyway. I don't know what's going on in Israel or Palestine. I can't check. I can't know if anything the media tells me is true, which is a very unfortunate position for us to be in, because we would like to know what is true so we can get involved. But we have just been so lied to, so there's some people that say that Israel is just indiscriminately slaughtering Gazans. And I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not in Israel. Hold on, I'm getting my chat up here. There we go. Someone did a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with Elon. That was brilliant. So yeah, I think we're called to be involved. We're called to be active. We need to be, as people of faith, or even just people of good ethics. Dang it. I messed up my painting. Even as people with just good ethics, we should be involved. And don't let anybody tell you that you shouldn't be involved. And you should be speaking out, and you should be reaching out to your congressman or your representative, whoever, that is not working to the end of representing the people. It's a shame because so much of what goes on in Washington is just for the good of those in Washington. I mean, when you can vote yourself your own raises, there's a problem. That should not be a thing. And I'd estimate that 90% of them are corrupt. And that's just crazy. That's why I couldn't understand them throwing out George Santos. Is George Santos any less corrupt than the guy who pulled the fire alarm? Or is he any less corrupt than Bob Menendez, who had gold bars in his pockets? And this is what the Republican Party is concerning themselves with. How do we get rid of George Santos? You've got Mayorkas, who his impeachment vote did not go through. How in the heck can Republicans not agree that Mayorkas needs to be gone? I mean, I don't know who they are. I want to know. And it was a small few. I think it was only like 8 or 10 Republicans that voted against that. But they need to be primaried. You need to get them out of there. Anybody who thinks Mayorkas is doing a good job with the border is crazy. He can keep saying the border's closed all he wants. But we get the daily, it's kind of like, we're supposed to believe the numbers until they tell us not to believe the numbers. So when it comes to COVID deaths, we're supposed to believe those numbers. That guy died in a car accident, but he had COVID, so it was COVID. We're supposed to believe that. But then when we have true numbers of like how many immigrants are coming across the border, we're not supposed to believe that number. We're supposed to pretend we don't see that and just keep spouting over and over, but the border's closed, the border's closed, the border's closed, the border is under control, it's closed. Well, you can say that all you want. I mean, if I go and open my front door and I just keep telling you, well, the front door's closed, the front door's closed, it's secure. It's not. You can look, you can see that the front door is open and it's not secure. This isn't rocket science. So for me, I'm just tired of being lied to. I've had it. I'm tired of being told that we need to spend money on endless wars while we've got homeless people. I mean, what happened to all the homeless people that they cleared off the streets in California was it in San Francisco for when President Xi came over? What's going on there? Because there are homeless people that are asking, they're making videos and they're saying, we don't know where these people went. We can't find them. No one knows where they are. So where did all those homeless people go? What did they do with them? I'm not saying they did anything nefarious. I just would like to know where they are. It's kind of like the 80,000 children that are missing that have come across the border. 80,000 that were in protective custody, supposed to be with sponsors. 80,000 are missing. That's at last count, which has been like a year ago. 80,000 children are missing. If we're going to take children across the border, they're minors, they then become our responsibility. And I don't know where they are, or I'm just not going to answer you about where 80,000 children are, is not an answer any of us should be accepting. There's 80,000 missing children. Where are they? Are they in prostitution? Have they been sold? What is going on? And they're like, well, we try to call the sponsors, but they don't answer the phone. Send a police car over there and arrest them and collect anybody who was in their care. Oh, well, they didn't answer. I guarantee you, if I didn't pay my taxes and didn't answer my phone, they'd send somebody to check on me. Miss Whipro, why aren't you paying your taxes? Oh, because you guys are doing horrible things with my money. Okay, well, then they would take me to jail, would they not? It's like the Pentagon never can balance their budget. They have trillions of missing dollars every single year. Before 9/11, Donald Rumsfeld announced how much money they were missing. They have no idea where it is. How do you lose billions of dollars? Absolutely, you have some say about what these people are doing with your money, because I don't know what they're doing with it. And I don't understand how we can send all of this money to Ukraine and Israel and Iran and, just millions upon millions of money to dollars to Iran to buy back our hostages or to buy their favor. I don't know what we're paying them for, but we've got money to do that. But you've got homeless veterans. You've got children who don't have enough food to eat. You've got people who, I was really against this student loan bailout. And then I started thinking about it and I'm like, wait a minute, there are actually some people who got degrees in things that actually make sense, things that are actually things, not like gender studies or basket weaving or whatever. And they're really struggling to make ends meet. And I think if we can send billions of dollars to Ukraine for a war that's been lost for a while now, then we can absolutely bail them out, the student loan people. I think it ought to be based on need. I think you should have to show that you're having some hardship and that's why you can't pay back. But I just see over and over again that we have all this money that we can just spend around the world. And I mean, heck, just fine Big Pharma for all of the things Big Pharma is doing wrong. And that would give us enough money to pay back, to help some of these kids with these student loans. You've got Paxton in the AG in Texas going after, is that right, Paxton? Yeah. Going after Pfizer for misrepresenting their drug, saying that it stopped transmission. I got in this Twitter argument and, I try not to get in them. And it wasn't much of one because I kind of know when I'm licked by stupidity and then I know to quit. And so this woman was like, the vaccines work and everybody needs to get them so that we can finally stop this thing. And I was shocked that 2 years in from the vaccine, there are still people who believe that. Like she's like, we all need to go out and get the boosters, which would put her on her 7th shot. And she's like, I said, look, it's pushing variants because it's a leaky vaccine. And she's just like, not true. And I'm like, okay, was this based on your extensive years of medical learning, or you're just telling me, a critical care nurse since 2002, that I'm wrong? What am I wrong? And, and she's like, well, she said I was just basically wrong that the people who are vaccinated are pushing variants. She's like, that's not true. And I'm thinking, okay, well, you don't understand how variants work. The way a variant works is anybody who can get infected, when that virus gets in you, it starts mutating to avoid your protections. And now you've created variant because it's got some other technique at avoiding, basically. So anybody who can get infected can push forward a variant. And she doesn't even understand that. And so you have to realize when you're fighting with somebody who's just completely ignorant, I mean, unless you want to sit down and go through every article with them and explain to them how the immune system works and, do an experiment where you put a mask on them and you take them outside in 20-degree weather and have them take a deep breath and breathe out so they can see all the air going around the mask. And then there's some people who just don't want to be convinced. And I would suggest you don't try to convince them. It's going to take something besides you. It's going to take a personal experience. They're going to have to go get a shot and get hurt or lose somebody, or have somebody they know go to get a shot and die in the parking lot before they'll even consider it. And a lot of them just won't consider it. They just can't go there. It's like when I first woke up, there was only so many conspiracy theories that I was willing to look into to see if they were true or not. Because, hi, Denise, because I could only handle so much at a time of everything that I've ever believed being wrong, right? So I can only stomach so much of it in scoops, And so with this whole COVID thing, I was so wrapped up in it because I was writing protocols and getting people through it and didn't lose a single person. We're over 2,000 now. People that I know of that have reached out to me. They downloaded the protocol and they've since reached out to me to let me know that it was working or reached out with a question about it. But every single one, no hospitalizations, no deaths, no long COVID. So be careful if you want to argue with me on Twitter because you probably don't know as much about it as I do. And I'm not being arrogant, but until you've actually treated people, until you've actually put together a protocol and watched it work and helped alter it for each different person, depending on what their unique body is, then you don't get to tell me that you somehow know more about this than I do, because you don't. So I just decided to quit arguing. I'm like, okay, God bless, carry on, you do you, was, how I ended it with that person. There's no point. The Bible talks about this. It talks about not arguing with fools and how your breath is wasted. And I'm not saying that woman is a fool, because that seems harsh. She is clearly uneducated or miseducated, and she's not looking to get educated. She's looking to continue believing what she believes. And I have no desire to change her mind. I don't have the time or the energy. It's often fruitless, and so why do it? Oh, thank you, Roniki, for the follow. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the acrylic pouring. The more I look at this black one that I didn't love, the more I'm loving it. Can you guys see it? No, I turned that off. But when I get these all dried and painted, or get the top coat on them, I'll show them to you. But I'm really pleased with how they turned out. And I'm so glad that we did it together. I mean, I know you guys didn't do anything, lazy bums. Denise says, you can only take so much at a time. I'm still listening, but have been dealing with depression. So I figure it's time to step back and try and enjoy my birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Denise. Everybody throw a happy birthday in the chat for Denise. If you are depressed, I was thinking about this the other day because it's something that I struggle with on and off. Remember gratitude. And I know it sounds cheesy, but I started thinking the other day, there were things I was depressed about. And so I'm like, I feel so bad that Don has to work this physical outdoor job, and it's getting ready to be winter, and it's just miserable. And I just was feeling sad about that for him. And then I thought, he's got a job that allows us to pay the bills and have a little bit extra to start paying down the debt. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that job. I know it's hard. I'm grateful that he can do it. I'm grateful that he's willing to get up every day and do it, because I don't think I could do it. It's a really hard job. I get stressed out about the new viruses that are going around. We've got this new pneumonia coming out of China. And so let's talk about that a little bit. So this new pneumonia, it looks like a lot. So first of all, it's this new mystery pneumonia. Let me explain to you why it's a mystery. So the only way for us to determine what pathogen is causing your pneumonia would be for you to cough up some sputum for us to test, or for us to do a little lavage where we run some fluid down there and we suck it back out. This pneumonia is primarily affecting children, and we do not do that to children. It's too traumatic. We just don't do it. Children are generally not able to expectorate their secretions very well to spit them out. So it's difficult to get a sample to test. And that's why we don't know what's causing it. Now, from what I'm understanding, what I'm hearing, I mean, I did critical care for years. If I know anything, it's pneumonia. What we're hearing is these kids aren't developing typical pneumonia symptoms. They're not coughing. They're just running these high fevers and feeling really bad. And then when you get them to the hospital, they've got white lung syndrome. White lung syndrome is not a new thing. Okay. It's kind of like with COVID. They're like, loss of taste is a new thing. No, it's not. It happens with the flu all the time. Any virus that can cause vagal disruption of the vagal nerve can cause all kinds of issues. So that's just not true. We see whiteout pneumonia where the whole lung is white, meaning the lungs are just filled with fluid. Generally, and it sounds like a walking pneumonia in these kids because they're not coughing, they're not sick other than fever and malaise, just not feeling well. Generally, those are mycoplasma pneumonias, and they are easily treated with amoxicillin. If you can't take amoxicillin, there's a gazillion other options for you. I don't want people to get all freaked out and jump onto the next vaccine for whatever they come up with for these kids, because the truth of the matter is kids aren't dying from this pneumonia. They're getting really sick, as children do if they get pneumonia, and you treat them with an antibiotic, and the antibiotics are working. So we're not losing kids to this. Kids aren't ending up on the ventilator. They're ending up sick in the ER or at the doctor's office. They're being treated with nebulizer treatments, oxygen if they need it, and an antibiotic, and they do really well. Get some fluids in them to balance out that temperature, and they do really well. Avoid Tylenol. Your doctor's going to tell you, give them Tylenol every 4 hours around the clock for fever. Tylenol depletes the immune system. It depletes your glutathione levels, which makes your lungs worse. I would not use Tylenol. Ask your doctor if it's okay if you use ibuprofen. That would be a better option, and it also has some antiviral properties. Denise says, you're right. Gratitude. Love the kitchen setup. Cooking stream wed wolf. We were talking about this the other day. Your granddaughter had pneumonia 2 weeks ago, and she's doing fine now. Yeah, little kids get pneumonia all the time. It's okay. Don't freak out. Don't let them push panic. Don't start wearing masks. The last thing you want to do is put a mask on a kid if they're brewing a pneumonia, because they're breathing in that bacteria just over and over again, and it's accumulating and growing in the lungs. They need fresh air. They need to be able to cough and spit and sputter. Don't put masks on your kids. Don't put masks on anyone. If you're not feeling well and you want to wear a mask to avoid getting your crap all over everybody when you cough, knock yourself out. I don't know that it's going to stop the spread of infection. Typically, it does not. New illness for the kids and dogs, really going to piss us off. Is it making dogs sick? But yeah, don't go getting all freaked out. We don't need to close schools. We don't need to lock down. We don't need a new vaccine for mycoplasma pneumonia. Amoxicillin will work just fine. And you know what I like about treating an illness versus having to deal with an immunization? If I give you amoxicillin and it makes you sick, in a couple hours, it's going to be out of your system. If I give you a vaccine and it makes you sick, it never leaves. It never leaves. And I was having this discussion with this woman on Twitter, and she said, the cases of myocarditis were mostly mild and in young people, not the elderly. Let me tell you why that's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. First of all, we saw plenty of myocarditis in the elderly. Not talking about it. My mom had myocarditis from Moderna. The reason that's stupid is when you get done with this live stream, I want you to Google 5-year survival rate myocarditis. And you'll find that the 5-year survival rate for myocarditis is low. Like scary low. When you get myocarditis, it is an inflammation of the squeezing muscles, of the muscles of the heart. And if those cells, those tissues get damaged, then that part of the heart can't squeeze anymore. And over time, that heart gets weaker and weaker. And that's why the 5-year survival rate is so low. This is why there's no such thing as a mild myocarditis. The fact that your kid had a mild myocarditis and got better at home should not make you feel any better, because they still are subject to those 5-year survival rates which are not good. And now you have a little kid who's got damage to their heart way early on, even in the kids that we didn't know had myocarditis, who had subclinical myocarditis, so they didn't have symptoms that they were able to express to a parent or that the parent caught on to and took them to the doctor, so they didn't get diagnosed. So now they've got this subclinical heart damage, and wait till they start sports, and then you're going to see it. You're going to see these heart problems come forward. So this woman's idea that, oh, it was mild and it was just little kids and they got better at home. Right, but did they completely recover their heart function? Is there permanent heart damage? No one's looking at this. So that's ridiculous. It's more worrisome to me when a little kid gets myocarditis because they've got so much longer to live with any potential heart damage that they have. If you're 90 or 80 and you get myocarditis, you get better. If your heart gets weaker, you're old anyway. Your heart was going to get weaker. Not that means it's okay for older people to die from the jab because they got myocarditis, but you know what I mean. Mild myocarditis is still a death sentence. Yes, it is. New one out hitting the canine kiddos. They told me, Denise says, they told me when I had breast cancer not to take ibuprofen, to take Tylenol. They made it sound like never take ibuprofen. Any idea why? I do not. Let's look. Avoid ibuprofen. Breast cancer? Do you mean before your surgery? Did you have surgery? Because you're not allowed to take it close to surgery. Or do you mean they told you not to take it ever? Interesting. Long-term daily use of ibuprofen was associated with an increased risk of breast cancer. Why can't breast cancer patients take ibuprofen? Having ibuprofen for pain control can hide a temperature caused by chemotherapy. I'm thinking it was just meaning while you were having treatment. But I would ask. It says ibuprofen has been reported to have a favorable effect on breast cancer survival. Tylenol was not associated with the risk of recurrence. Yeah, I'm not finding any reason why you would have to avoid it long term. I don't recommend anybody take ibuprofen or Tylenol daily. I mean, if you've got something short term you need to take it for, then okay. But I'm just careful. Fevers, I generally just let run their course. You can, as long as your child is older than 2, you can take some peppermint essential oil and mix it in a rubbing oil like olive oil or almond oil, and you can massage it on their backs and the soles of their feet, and it'll just a couple drops of peppermint oil, and it'll bring their temperature down. Not for children under 2 because it can cause respiratory issues. You had HER2 plus. They told me not to use it at all. Then I wouldn't use it at all. I mean, it's a drug. Ibuprofen's a drug that's hard on the kidneys, and I'm guessing there's some science behind that. So if they say no, I wouldn't do it. But it says it's not associated with breast cancer risk. So ask them what data they're basing that on. Ask them if they could give you a link to a study so that you could learn more about it and understand. And they're usually good about that. Maybe I just try to avoid them unless absolutely. Well, talk to your doctor and ask them. Say, hey, what is the reason that I want to avoid NSAIDs after breast cancer? Or like I said, was it during breast cancer? I don't know. Hold on, I'm going to try to get these off here and let them dry. I actually really like these guys. I think they turned out nice. None of them were what I was going for. But I still like them. All right. That one's super pretty. I really like that white one. And this one's super cool. Stick my finger right in it. Look at that. That turned out neat. Mr. Whitbrook likes that one best. To see how much I'm coming along, this is the first canvas I did. It looks like nothing. Horrible. And it dried all weird. I was so disappointed. Could have been just during treatment. Yeah, find out, because I'm curious to know about that, Denise, and let me know. I've never heard that, and I'm always looking for the most updated information to give people. So definitely let me know. Yeah, it could have just been during treatment. So thank you for the donation. I want to thank the person his name is not coming to mind. The person who sent me the donation that had seen my near-death experience, thank you so much. That has relieved some of the stress of the cost of surgery. Hopefully I'll just have to stay the one day and not two, but I'll keep you guys posted on that. I have to be at the hospital 9:30 Monday morning to give you kind of a time frame of if you like to be praying at the time. And I'm supposed to be able to come home Tuesday. Last time I had to stay 2 days, so we'll see. And then I probably won't be here next Friday. I may do some little short videos just to let you guys know how I'm doing. Or if I'm feeling great, I may, start a book. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm sorry for not being here last Friday. I think I told you guys we had a death in the family, and then Mr. Gray's head exploded on the porch. Not total head, just the abscess, but that kept us pretty busy on Friday. But I will sign out for now. We have been on for, I don't know, I can't tell how many hours, a long time, 2:30, 2.5 hours. I love you guys, whole big bunches. Let me pray us out. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this day and for giving me the opportunity and the platform just to be able to get on and do some art and share some conversation with people. I pray for anybody who is struggling in spirit. They're struggling with depression or anxiety, grief, fear. You are not the author of fear. Perfect love casts out fear. Father, remind us to be grateful when we're feeling depressed. It's so easy to get depressed because there's so much going on that's so stressful. But just remind us that there are always blessings, and help us look for those and write those down and practice, be diligent in being grateful. Anytime we find ourselves feeling downcast or scared or anxious, remind us of all of the blessings in our life and that you have brought those for us. And Father, for those who have needs, I pray that you would fill those needs. For those who support the show financially, I pray that you would bless them tenfold, that money would come back to them, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, and more than meet their needs for blessing me. Father, for everybody who supports me in this channel in prayer, I am so grateful. I am so grateful. The prayers are no less than the money. They are just as needed. And it just means so much to me that people would take time out of their day and their lives to pray for me and pray for this channel. Father, I pray that you continue to give me the wisdom that I need to be honest on this platform and to share with people what's going on and give them an unbiased perspective and hopefully a godly perspective into how we should handle some of the things that we're going through at this time. Father, most of all, I thank you for Jesus. I thank you for everyone that's here and everyone who will watch the video on rewind. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, guys. I'm so glad you were here too, PJ. I will see you maybe next Friday. You'll get little blurbs from me in the meantime to let you know that I came through surgery okay, because I don't want you to fret. And I'll keep you posted on Mr. Gray too. Hopefully I can get Don to maybe snap a picture of him and you can see his crazy bald head. But anyway, that's it. I love you guys. Whole big bunches. Nurse Penny out. Almost out. Closer to out. Definitely out.